Hey there, comic friends, I'm Travis. It's time for an edition of Monster Comic Reviews, where I talk about comic books that have to do superheroes. This is for comics for the week of September 17th, 2014. You thought I was going to have to look up the date, didn't you? I remembered this time. Alright, first up we're going to talk about Batman Eternal, issue number 24. This is a pure spoiler issue, as in I'm not going to spoil it. Well, I am going to spoil it, because it's all about spoiler. Yeah. Right there, see? Anyway, this cover bothers me. I'll just tell it off the bat. At a distance, you look at it at a distance, it makes a certain amount of sense. Here's a silhouette of motorbike, somebody jumping, and then you've got spoiler here, but the legs sticking out. It's a mess. It's a mess. The cover drives me crazy. Anyway, yes, all spoiler, pretty good. It was okay. Had some interesting stuff in there. I love in this issue, basically Clue Master kind of lists out a large portion of his plan about all these kind of like B and D and C and F and J and W lister villains that he's got helping him slowly congest and jam up and cause social chaos in Gotham, doing things like making sure that power outages happen when the big football game is on, causing congestion with street lights, making people's sewer systems back up, just causing general chaos to create this agitation in Gotham, to create this larger, we don't know what going on. He's talking to a mystery man. Spoiler is up in the rafters, trying to record what's going on and trying to get enough evidence. They kind of, Clue Master and whoever he's talking to, I think probably planted the seed in her head that she needs to find Batman and talk to Batman maybe, because they keep commenting on the fact that the Bat's going to show up at some point. We got to stay our toes and that sort of stuff. A little throwback to a little bit of Stephanie Brown's spoilers. Childhood, about how she's kind of a daredevil and that sort of thing. Fast forward to her on a motorcycle chase with the Clue Master trying to blow her up, and she smartly pulls him out of Gotham City so he doesn't have the safety net of having the Gotham Police Department basically bought. It's the State Patrol that gets a hold of him, and so he's actually captured, arrested, and seemed to be going to be put away. But like I said, solely centric Stephanie Brown issue. Fun for that. Andy Clark does the art on this, and I just think Andy Clark is an awesome artist. He does great panels, interesting, does lots of inking textures and that sort of stuff that I just love. The guy needs a ongoing comic. He just does. Yeah, I don't think he's had an ongoing comic since Rebels, book that was put out right before the New 52. Got canceled in preparation for the New 52. Really like that. He did quite a bit of that run. The guy needs solid work because he's a solid artist. It's great. He's getting this exposure on a Batman book. Put him on a regular Batman book, or put him on a regular something. Get the guy a gig, because I want to look at his artwork. So, yeah, okay issue. Multiversity, the Society of Superheroes, Conquerors from the Counter World. Issue number 1. You know, this is one of those one-shots, kind of an issue number 2, really tied into the first Multiversity book. This whole series is going to be that way. It's all, you know, listed as one-shots. There's 5 of them, I believe, and a beginning and a capper on the end of these 5 kind of single-issue kind of things that has some reoccurring theme type stuff going on in them. The fact that there are multiple universes. Comics come up in a reference in this again. I absolutely love this issue. Last issue had me concerned and a little confused. I wasn't seeing the real meta text of a Grant Morrison book, which I would expect in something that's called Multiversity. I don't know that I saw it here, but I did more so. I see a larger plan in place, it feels like. I love these characters. This is kind of like, it's a version of Earth 2, from the old Earth 2, not 52 Earth 2, but pre-52 Earth 2 or Earth B, as it was also called back when I was a kid. That Justice Society, a really interesting Dr. Fate. I mean, they aren't exactly the same, they're kind of like that. Interesting Dr. Fate in this, an interesting Atom, Vandal Savage is in it. Any book that has Vandal Savage in it rocks, right? The Blackhawks, a whole bunch of Lady Blackhawks in this. Shiva, as far as some of their bad guys that are in it. Just a great comic. Opens up this narrative, sets this theme of pre or post World War II. Just sets a nice theme to this, like I said, to it, and just tells a great story. I really enjoyed this. It's a $5 book. I was happy paying the $5 for it, basically, because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I dig in where it's going. You kind of get a better picture, like I said in this one, of where the next couple of books are going to go. So I'm excited to see. I know one of the ones that's coming up for this is going to be a Captain Marvel, Shazam type world. So that'll be great, because I always liked the whole Marvel family. I thought they were fun and kind of an interesting group of people and characters. So really rating and digging that. Great issue. Really enjoyed it. Happy with that. Happy with that. As I said, concerned with the first issue. Happy now. Curious to see where it goes. Kind of excited to see what comes next and whatnot. And hell, make these people a regular comic. Other than at this point they are in bad shape. But make this world, make this Earth a regular comic, please, because those are cool characters. Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman, another lackluster issue as a whole. The main story in here is once again really blasé. Has the psycho pirate in it that manipulates Wonder Woman, makes her see her flaws, preys on her supposed weakness or whatever. Just didn't care for it. Wasn't that interesting. Yeah, not happy at all with that. The second story in it, Brace Yourself, was a lot better. It was enjoyable. It was kind of a retelling of a part of her history as a little girl growing up in Paradise Island. Her earning her bracers, and kind of her. It's told through her mother's eyes, seeing her daughter grow up and become this powerful warrior and whatnot. And it was kind of a feel-good story, and just kind of sweet and fun to see a youthful, like 6-year-old version of Diana and all that entails as she grows up into womanhood and really becomes Wonder Woman, and gets ready to embrace moving on to the world of man and dealing with all that stuff that she wants to be an ambassador for, that she thinks that it's time for them to move and graduate on to being the ambassadors that she thinks they should be and stuff. So that was good. The main story, what most of the book was, I think more pages were dedicated to it, was lackluster and blasé, which is really unfortunate that this is 2 issues now, that most of it's been, when I love the character, so I know it's not a matter of the character. It's just they're not writing intriguing, interesting, mind-bending stories, nor are they getting creators that are exciting and whatnot. The Batman version of the digital first, they got all these creators that normally you would never see on a Ben Templesmith, Michael Oeming, just Joshua Helfkoff, just these different people who aren't your normal people to be on a Batman book were on it. Same with the Superman Adventures, the digital first Superman book. You get people like Chris Samney and Jeff Lemire, people who normally work for Marvel or whatever, are on the book doing different stuff and whatnot. And this one's pedestrian, doesn't even begin to describe that first story in that. So it's really unfortunate. I'm gonna keep buying them. I don't know why, but I'm gonna keep buying them in hopes that they're gonna get some people on there, or one of these no-name people is gonna be somebody exciting out. It doesn't have to be big name people doing it. Let's just get somebody who's willing to tell a really interesting story, something a little more dynamic. I don't know, but this hasn't been impressive so far. So, and finally for this time, once again, another short week as far as superhero comics, because of course I don't pull any DC really this week other than the Batman Eternal, because this is the week of all the Future's End tie-ins. So next week we'll have more superhero books. But anyway, finally this time is George Perez's Sirens. really excited about this. Remember seeing stuff about it. George Perez actually signed an exclusive with Boom Studio. This is a bi-monthly book, 6-issue miniseries. Bi-monthly meaning that every other month it will come out. It is both written and drawn by George Perez. If you love George Perez, 80s style artwork and storytelling, because to me it has the feel of an 80s book. Right up your alley. Probably should pick it up, check it out. It'll be some good fun. Story about this group of women, all over through spans of history and seemingly almost reality. Everything from the dark Stone Age past to the very bright and sometimes grim future, all gathered together to fight something that we don't know what it is yet. But like I said, largely a lot of it is about the art. I'm not so excited by the colorist. The colors seem a little over dominant, and to me it feels like to some degree it muddies some of George's inkings and penciling in it. But there's a lot of it that is just classic George. I mean, there are the half faces of all these different women and whatnot. Classic George kind of stuff. The panels are full. There's not a lot of empty background and a lot of stuff. It's all stuff that George Perez is famous for back with the Teen Titans and any of the other, the Crisis and any of the books that he worked on, Wonder Woman at the time. It's just really full and really rich as far as that goes. Story itself is okay. It's somewhat interesting. I think the next issue is really going to pick up as far as really giving us a direction. We get a very quick introduction to these group of ladies. Now, I figure the next issue we'll actually get to see what they do. So excited for that. Like I said, if nothing else, just for the George Perez artwork. And supporting the man. He's an amazing man, and has some cool stuff. So I'll be curious to see where this is going to go, what's going to happen with it. Anyway, that's it for this time. I will catch you next week with some more superhero books as we roll into October and all of those bitchin' DC Halloween covers that I'm probably getting quite a few of, I think. Anyway, have a great one, everybody, and check you later.